In effect, they come in at the end of March, leading into the first week of April. It's a 4 to 5 week preparation, really, but in effect, preparation begins from birth, really, in terms of the horse's confidence, nutritional intake, his development of his feet and limbs, and all of those things that are associated with developing them as racehorses. At Curraghmore here, we endeavour to keep it as natural as possible. Taking them up to the sales for us is not a beauty contest or anything like that, and we're still trying to, whilst we have to have our horses looking very well, I want them to have had as natural a preparation as possible, in that we're not contravening with their growth rates. We're not burdening them with excess weight just because people like buying them by the pound. We're presenting them basically in the same condition as they would be at home. We're basically developing their minds, so and that, as a repeating, that goes back to birth, but they're basically in the stable for 6 hours a day and out on pasture for 18. We familiarise them with all the little processes that they will require an encounter, and all those challenges that they will encounter at Curraghmore, in terms of being happy and settled in their stables, to go out and parade and be individuals, content to stand out there on their own, walk away from their mates, and be very manageable horses in a highly stressful situation. These horses are anywhere from 4.5 to 7 months old, and they've just undergone a huge change and transformation in their life, where they've been weaned from their mothers over a 4 or 5 week period. This preparation is basically about, one, getting them to sale, but continuing along that little bit of development which is crucial for them. We keep it as consistent with what they would have in just a normal day in their lives. From birth, they've always had a supplementary feed each day, and that continues here, where they have 2 feeds a day, which is consistent with just normal raising anyway. It's basically a high fibre diet. Right through the summer we've introduced hay to them in the paddocks with the mares, and so their intake is a high fibre diet, but basically that of an adult horse, not in terms of volume, but it's not something that you can just pack condition on in 4 or 5 weeks. In fact, that causes me a lot of anxiety, to think that a foal would be eating these copious amounts of feed to get them ready for 1 day or 3 days up there. The fundamentals are basically the same, except that of course yearlings are anywhere from 16 to 20 months old, so we don't put as big a demand in terms of fitness levels on them, but we'll get sufficient amount of work into them in a normal way to allow them to have the fitness to cope with the demand of being presented 50 and 60 times at the sales, which is not a given in their normal in their normal living. But however, they're fit little animals in their own right. Just the small little features, like when we're bringing them in from their paddocks every day, will probably go the long way, and gradually they're actually doing these things that they don't even know, but ultimately boost their natural fitness for when it comes to departing here. Well, we'll take ours up on the Thursday in advance of the sale on the Monday, and we're generally the first to arrive. We travel them up with majestic horse floats, which provide us with a great service here. We've had a transporter here that we can load the horses on and take them off, and they can spend a little bit of time on it. In the middle of the preparation, we'll take them for a short journey